The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3 in the NLT. When people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem HaShah, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They are scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some look like the heathen, and then 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. And this is what Trump, his administration, and the media is pushing for the most part, is that everything is good, the gas prices is good, and everything is in control. The Strait of Hormuz is U.S. territory now, and all this foolishness. Well, we're about to see higher prices, man. Total catastrophe over here in America. While they pushing peace and safety, trying to make it seem as if everything is peaceful and secure and they got everything under control, which is a lie. Disaster is going to hit them labor pains. In 2 Esdras 15, the plagues, the calamities are going to hit, man, very soon. You know? I can see it hitting this fall and winter. And you got the shortage of fertilizer, food processing plants going down, shortages of cattle. Ranchers got to sell out the cattle. Higher prices, gas and diesel going up. You know, that's paying at the pump. Those are gas, they use gas. And just paying everywhere else because of diesel affects everything. Transportation, agriculture. Y'all know we've been saying this through the Spirit of Power, y'all by Shema Shah. We've been bringing up the information, bringing up the updates, keep you updated. Okay, this war is doing that deal, man. It's doing damage to Babylon, man. All right. There's no escaping prophecy. So get ready for the pain. Very soon. Revelation 6 and 5 NLT. It says, KJV, the third seal of famine. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, come to see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And the word balances goes into a metaphor for straits, difficulties, bondage, hard times. So, hey, as we told y'all about what the Holy Spirit, that prophecy is gradualism. It unfolds as these seals peel back. Prophecy opens up more and more until it's fully open, and we're about to see this black horse. I've really run rampant, famine and hyperinflation, man. All right? Shortages, lack of resources, hyperinflation, difficulty, no way to get out of the situation. You got to face it head on. Hey, this is less jobs now, less people, more people without jobs. So higher, increased unemployment rates. Everything getting repossessed. Foreclosures at an all-time high. Women are at an all-time low. Babylon's at an all-time low. Pride is at an all-time high. Wickedness is at an all-time high. Judgment is at an all-time high. Verse 6 in the NLT. And I heard a voice from among the four living beings say, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay, and don't waste the oil and the wine. So you see, the elect of Israel are going to be good. The elect of Israel got this truth. The elect of Israel are going to be comforted during these times. Us as a hopeful elect that's seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel are going to be well taken care of by Yahweh Shema Shah. We don't know how. We just believe that we are. All right? And so we got to walk by faith and not by sight. Because hey, we still here. We got to go through it too. Christians. You know? So your paycheck is not going to be enough to sustain you, man. This hyperinflation right here. Shortage, high prices. If you don't know what hyperinflation is, this might be the time for you to look it up. I'm not going to look it up. We done got it a million times. So while this administration is telling you that everything is good, these things are going to happen suddenly. Right? Why? Because people are caught off guard, man. All right? They don't know, they don't really got the inside scoop. They're not watching like we watching. They can't put the prophecies together by way of the Holy Spirit. They can't link the articles up together and bring out this truth, man, by way of the Holy Spirit. They don't know which articles to believe or not believe, but we do by way of the Holy Spirit.
Wow, this car lifted looks sweet.
Yeah, I just got it from Timu. Guess how much it costs?
$3,000?
Nope. This one handles up to 8,000 pounds. It lifts up to 28 inches high, giving you plenty of clearance for tire dying.
All right, this is my girl Kim Iverson right here. As you see, diesel crack hits all-time high. Economic nightmare. Incoming 1 hour ago. I'm going to play 16 minutes and like 35 seconds of it. It's a 22-minute and 7-second video. I'm going to just let her talk, man. So this most definitely is not the time to be splurging, doing or buying anything crazy. It's time to really buckle down and save your bread and get a little extra, whatever you could get if you are able to do it. They remember it's not only for yourselves, it's for the body too. Like, you don't know how Yahweh Shema Shai can have members of the elect, come around one another. Yahweh Shema Shai, how the elect help, how the elect feed the elect as well. Lord willing, we part of it. But this most definitely is not the time to be selfish, man. To be careless and inconsiderate.
So we just get the news that diesel crack is at an all-time high, hitting over $102 a barrel. We also get the news that gasoline prices for the month of August are also at an all-time high. All-time high for both of these. And Trump is saying, nothing to see here. We own the Strait of Hormuz. It is the U.S. territory. There is nothing to see. This is a masterclass in gaslighting. I mean, at least the attempt in gaslighting. Trying to tell you, do not pay attention to the rising gas and oil prices. Don't even pay attention to that. It doesn't matter. Silly you. We own the Strait of Hormuz, and many barrels of oil are getting through every single day because we are in control of it, essentially, is what Trump is trying to tell us. But the reality is much more grim. Look at this. This is him saying new U.S. territory. He actually posted this on his Truth Social. I think Iran and the world really is, if they weren't so afraid of the rising prices that are about to show up here, the inflation that's about to hit us smack in the face, I think they would be laughing. But instead, they're crying, because it's all going to be about to affect us. We should all be crying. In fact, Trump posted this saying, there are no talks or conversations going on or scheduled with the Islamic Republic of Iran. The naval blockade remains in full force and effect. The Hormuz Strait is open and operating. All water mines have been removed or detonated. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So he's saying these things, yet the market, filled with insiders who also have the scoop on what's actually going on, says otherwise. Well, if you watch my show, you already know I don't buy the official story at face value. Whether it's economic policy, foreign wars, or media narratives, I've often seen how the public gets told one thing while something very different is actually happening underneath. And when it comes to the economy, there are real warning signs building. You've got rising debt and inflation that just won't go away. Policy keeps shifting based on politics instead of any real long-term plan. And the people who feel it first are everyday Americans. Costs keep climbing, your dollar doesn't stretch as far, and your retirement is starting to feel a lot less certain. So the question is, what do you actually control? Because I'm a big believer in stepping outside systems that depend entirely on trust. That's why I like owning something real. Physical gold and silver from the company I trust, American Hartford Gold. These are tangible assets, not numbers on a screen, not something that depends on the Fed getting it right or politicians suddenly becoming responsible. Gold has held its value through inflation, currency devaluation, and major economic shifts. American Hartford Gold has an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of five-star reviews. They'll deliver gold and silver directly to your door or help you move into a gold IRA if you're serious about protecting your retirement. Because independence isn't just about what you think, it's also about what you own. Also, if you call today and tell them I sent you, you could get up to $20,000 in free silver with your first purchase. Call 866-584-3884 or text Kim to 65532. That's 866-584-3884 or text Kim to 65532 or click the link in the video description. And now we get the fact that diesel crack is at an all-time high and gas prices for the month of August are at an all-time high, yet we're being told, no. Everything's actually way better than it seems. In fact, an Israeli journalist, I don't know how much you can actually trust. I'd hate to see. It's really a shame because I'm sure there are plenty of Israeli journalists that are actually extremely trustworthy and very much people we should be listening to. Many of them are working for Haaretz. But unfortunately, when we see Israeli journalists, we have to be very skeptical. Well, what is the play here? Are you trying to propagandize us? And I would say in this instance, yes. The answer is yes. They are trying to propagandize us. Listen to this one. Iran has lost the battle over Hormuz. According to U.S. government data, the U.S., Saudi Arabia, and Gulf countries are successfully exporting an average of about 15 million barrels of oil per day, 9 million in tankers passing through the strait itself, plus another 6 million via bypass routes and upgraded land infrastructure. A large portion of the oil is exported covertly with escort from the Fifth Fleet and does not appear in public databases. But the best proof of this is the fact that oil prices have not spiked and are hovering at roughly $85 to $90 a barrel, far from the scare tactics of $150 and up, and an economic crisis on the scale of the Great Depression. Together with additional developments in the global oil market, primarily the drop in China's consumption and to some extent record high oil production figures in Venezuela, the new situation nearly completely covers the 20 million barrels, my allergies. August is always the worst for me, so you just have to kind of bear with me. And I try to stay away from allergy medication as much as I possibly. I don't like popping pills, but anyway, excuse me. All right, the new situation completely covers the $20 million barrels that used to pass through Hormuz before the war. What's currently holding Trump back from dismantling the Iranians is not Hormuz. This battle, it seems, has long been decided. The real story is the fear of indiscriminate Iranian fire on the oil infrastructure of Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states. So he's saying, no, the oil is flowing just fine. The issue is actually people are worried about Iran blowing up the rest of the infrastructure throughout the Middle East. Well, so this is an Israeli journalist, Tamir Morag. We could pronounce his name a little bit differently and a different word would be made, but aren't I feeling a little spicy today? So I think that he's a bit mixed up because I'm pretty sure that the figure of 15 million barrels of oil coming out of the Gulf countries is actually what was reported. This was reported as a combined oil leaving the Arabian region per week, I believe, is what that was. Let me see. Actually, I actually had looked at this one. So, because also typically before the war, Saudi Arabia was actually exporting about 6 to 7 million barrels a day. So now he's saying, oh, it's 15 million barrels a day, like they doubled it. So we have way more coming out of the coming from Saudi Arabia, which is, more than double, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So basically, I believe that this was that there was many coming from the 15 million barrel was weekly, and it was coming from the entire Gulf region. So that is about two barrels of oil a day, 2 million barrels of oil a day, which is what they've been reporting on for quite some time. So nothing has really changed, and this post is insane. And not only that, but it's just, he says, oh, the gas prices, that's how you could tell. Well, the U.S. gas prices reach an all-time high. I mean, look at this. The Guardian, U.S. gas prices reach highest ever recorded for August amid stalled talks with Iran. Okay, so we're now seeing ever recorded. This isn't just, in the last 4 years, or in the last 10 years. Highest gas prices ever recorded in August. And also this is the most concerning, actually. Gas prices, you can kind of tolerate, but you will not be able to tolerate the price of diesel going up, because diesel actually controls everything. So what we have here is U.S. diesel crack surpasses $100 a barrel for the first time on supply disruptions. So what exactly is that? Well, diesel crack is the gas oil crack. It's also called that. It measures the margin a refiner earns producing diesel from crude oil. Now, then you're thinking, well, the margin, that means that they're making more money, right? So they are making a lot more money. They're making a little over $102 dollars per barrel is how much so they're profiting quite a bit. Well, why are they profiting quite a bit? So then this is where it gets, and every producer would love to sell as many barrels as possible at that price. The problem is they can't. And when they can sell barrels at that price, there's suddenly, prices go up and exporters are like, well, we're going to have to sell a lot of barrels at this price. There's a lot of money to be made. And as they flood the market with barrels at that price, the price goes down because there's a lot of diesel in the market. Well, the problem is right now there isn't and there can't be. And it's a mixture of the Strait of Hormuz being closed. That's a big one. But it's also infrastructure being hit. Part of it is also the Ukraine-Russia war. So that one coming back to bite us in the rear end right now. Ukraine's attacks on Russian oil infrastructure has now created this problem where we don't have enough diesel. So diesel is the biggest issue. This is really going to drive the inflation, and we're going to see a massive, if the prices hold at this level, okay, so if they go down, fine, maybe we'll be able to recover and we won't see a big, huge inflation spike. But if the prices stay at this level, we are in for a world of pain coming this winter. It is going to be bad. And it's not just going to be the prices at the pump are higher. It is going to be every last thing you know and think of is going to cost more. Inflation is going to go through the roof. And that is because diesel drives far more than the global commercial activity than gasoline. You've got trucking, shipping, aviation, industrial fuel, off-road equipment, agriculture, farming equipment, and heating all depend on diesel. So this is going to be a giant problem. I mean, you're going to see farming, the food prices are going to go up. Farmers pay more to run tractors, combines, fertilizer. We're seeing also a fertilizer shortage because they're not able to get the fertilizer out either. So that's also going to put a strain on the food prices. Everything is expensive when it comes to farming, right? So they're going to have to pay more for freight. They're going to have to, grocery stores are going to pay more to get products delivered. Those costs get passed down the chain. That means meat, produce, dairy, packaged foods, basically everything is going to get more expensive when you head to the grocery store. Then you're going to have higher shipping and delivery costs for everything. Trucking companies are going to add fuel surcharges. Retailers are going to pay more to restock their stores. Amazon-style delivery, UPS, FedEx, building materials, furniture, appliances, all of it is going to get hit. And then air travel, air cargo goes along with air travel. So it's not just, oh, shoot, you won't be able to take your vacation. You have to remember things have to get flown around the world. Cargo, that is going to rise too because jet fuel price is part of that same broad refined fuel complex. So airlines are going to pay more, cargo gets more expensive, that's going to feed into ticket prices, but of course it's also going to feed into the prices of the goods that have to be moved through the air. Construction is going to get more expensive because excavators, bulldozers, cranes, generators, they all burn diesel. So that means roads, houses, commercial buildings, infrastructure, all of it is going to cost more. Manufacturing, of course, is going to be squeezed because raw materials cost more to extract and transport. Factories pay more for logistics and suppliers pass along those higher costs to you and me. So that's going to go higher. And of course, gasoline prices going up on top of that. You're going to be spending more just to drive to get all of those things that cost a lot more. So you're going to have less disposable income. and everything is just going to get a lot more expensive. So this is the danger. We're going to see a major inflation spike, and this doesn't just hurt you at the pump. So gas prices hurt you at the pump, but diesel prices hurt you everywhere else. So the fact that diesel crack prices have hit, the diesel crack has hit a little over $102, record high. They could sit there and tell us all day long, the Strait of Hormuz is under control. Don't you worry. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Oh, there's tons of oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz. They could say this as they gaslight us about the gas prices, but the reality is hitting us smack in the face. Gas prices are at an all-time high. I was in Idaho trying to fill up my gas tank, which is a historically low gas place. I felt like I was back in California. I mean, honestly, it was the exact same, although Californians are getting hit even harder. But where are we on making this deal, right? How are we going to get out of this? Short of nuking them, which also won't work, short of sending in ground troops, which also won't work. So are we negotiating our way out of this, or what exactly are we doing? Well, according to Jared Kushner, somebody who's never been elected to office, who's just sleeping with the president's daughter, and somehow is one of the most powerful men in the world, who's so close to Netanyahu. Netanyahu once slept in his bed. Jared Kushner says, no, there's not going to be any deal.
The memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran expires today amid questions about what comes next in the region. U.S. Special Envoy Jared Kushner spoke with Fox News for an exclusive interview about the latest in negotiations with Iran.
Today, the memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran expires. Where do negotiations stand with the Iranian regime?
Yeah, so right now, President Trump's been very focused on the economic pressure. He really feels strongly about the blockade. If you look at the Iranian economy, it's way worse off. It was bad before the war. It's way worse off now. But President Trump's been very clear on why he took the actions he took, which is he believes that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And if Iran is willing to, finish the deal that they've been discussing with us to give up their ability to create a nuclear weapon, then obviously he's willing to make a deal that could be great for the Iranian people, and it's something he would be open to. But right now, they're not showing any interest in doing something that makes sense for us.
What do you see as the biggest roadblock to reaching an agreement with Iran?
They have to be willing to make a real deal. I think if they're going to try to play a trick or do something to hide certain cards and get certain concessions for not, President Trump wants to make a fair deal that could be a win-win, but that has to be very basic, and that they have to want to be a real country, which is no nuclear weapons and no funding terror in the region.
Today, President Trump told Fox News there is a back channel between the administration and top IRGC officials. What does that channel look like, and are you making any progress with these other officials outside of the political echelon?
Yeah, so I can't go into the details of it, but I will say that the conversations between the U.S. government and different areas of the Iranian government at all areas is probably more robust than it's maybe ever been. And so there's been a lot of good dialogues, which I think is very, very helpful, right? You can't make deals with each other if you don't understand each other. You have to exchange views. There's really not a lot of trust between America and Iran after all these years of not having these relations and dialogues. But obviously they're engaging in a very strong way, and that's quite positive. But we're not there yet on an understanding, and President Trump's going to be very patient. He doesn't like to make he doesn't want to rush to a deal. He'll make the right deal when the right deal is ready. But we are having very positive and active conversations.
President Trump told Fox News this morning Iran should put up the white flag of surrender. He said they're good poker players, but they're dying.
So there you have it. I say just get ready for the pain, because it's coming. Stay prayed for the name of Hashem Shah. Shalom.